How are you all doing today? I am Issac Travis and you are watching IT Creations. Today we are going to be working on our tiny home. We are building a tiny home out of a 40-foot high cube shipping container. We already got one window put in. What we are going to be doing today is we are going to be framing up our very first walls in the container. We are going to be framing up our walls for our bedroom and our bathroom, so we can kind of figure out where we want our other windows in the container to be and where we want to cut them out. So I ended up getting some insulation from the store as well. I'm going to show you what I picked up and some of our plans for this container. So let's get to it. This is the insulation I got from my container. This is what I'm going to be using. I would rather use spray foam and pay somebody to come out here and spray the whole inside of my container. I did some research on that, and for me to have somebody come out here, it was going to cost me a little over $3,000 just to insulate my container. So I went with this. I got the thinner stuff so it doesn't use up too much space in my container, and so I don't have to cut every piece to fit in between my joist. You can do the other option and cut every piece to fit in between your joist. I just didn't feel like doing that. And you cannot use normal insulation in these containers. There is way too much moisture in between your steel and whatever you want to put on your walls. We are going to be using like a shiplap, so it would just be way too much moisture and we would just get a ton of mold in our walls and it would be very bad. So this is what I'm going to use. It doesn't have a very high R value, but we're going to see how it does. Hopefully it will meet our needs. I started framing up the wall in the very back of the container. We are using a lot of scrap wood, so we are splicing some of it together, but that does not matter because we are going to be covering it up with insulation and shiplap anyway. So just as long as it can hold up our insulation and shiplap, we will be good. I'm getting ready to start framing up this wall here by our window we put in the other day. And we will start getting all this framed up. Let's get to it. Okay, I got that wall all finished with tongue and groove. I just got to do a little piece on top. I'm waiting to do that so I can get my insulation butted up against there, and then I will do the last piece on top after I get the insulation on the ceiling. Started this wall with tongue and groove. I got all this tongue and groove from a buddy of mine, and that is why some of it is stained, some of it is not. And there are two different kinds, so I staggered them on this wall, and I'm going to be painting this wall a different color. And I got this wall all framed up. I'm waiting to put the insulation and tongue and groove on this wall until I get my electrical, that outlet, all hooked up. And I built this wall, got it all finished with tongue and groove. Come on the back side, Here it is, nice and built. There we go. So the bedroom is all framed in. And for my bottom plate, you gotta stack 3 2x4s. And then you can just use an 8-foot 2x4 and it will work perfectly to frame up your walls. I got my window for my bathroom all cut out. Some C-clamps around it, clamp it in place. And I got a bottle jack and a 2x6. And I just jacked it up right there, got it all nice and straight. And now I'm going to be welding around it, and we will put this window in, and then we will frame up in the bathroom, and it will be very nice. I am actually going to be buying another shipping container. I'm going to be getting a 20-foot shipping container, and I'm going to be using it as storage for a little while until I get this project done. And then when I get this tiny home done, I'm going to turn the 20-foot into a tiny home as well. I'm going to be putting the 20-foot container over there by my blue truck, but it's going to be nice. I'm going to be able to get all my materials out of this container that we are turning into a tiny home now, and we're going to be able to store it in the 20-foot until we get it done, and then we're going to be able to make another tiny home. So let me show you where I'm going to put it. We're going to start kind of clearing out over there. We've been working on this tiny home mainly at night. It has been so hot out here. It's been inside the container. It's been all the way up to during the day, like 120, 140 degrees inside the container. So way too hot to be in there working in the day. But at night, it gets down to about 80 in there. So not as bad, but right now, we are going to go over there and we are going to start clearing all that out over there. And I found something pretty cool over there. Let me show you what I found. So I was getting ready to mow all these weeds and start clearing over here for my 20-foot container. And I came over here by my blue truck, and sitting right there was this little guy. This is a eastern box turtle. They are native to Tennessee, and this is actually a female. You can tell by the color of their eyes. Her eyes are more brown. The males have bright red eyes. Really cool. And on the bottom of their plastron, you can see that's the bottom of their shell is smooth. It doesn't have a dent in it. That means it is a female. The males have a really big dent in the bottom of their shell. So this is a little female eastern box turtle. Really cool. We're going to be keeping her safe while I mow, and then I will let her go back over here. We'll just let her walk around on the ground here, and I'll show you her real quick. These are really cool turtles. She's just hanging out under my truck. I'm going to actually put her in my cement frame while I mow. She probably can actually get out of this. She's probably going to try to climb out, but when she figures out, she can actually lift this thing up if she wanted to and get out. She's probably going to just try to climb out, but once she figures it out, she'll get out of this thing pretty easy. All right, let's start mowing over there and getting that all ready for our other container. Okay, I just ran out of gas in the lawnmower, so unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go to the gas station and spend another $100 just to fill up the lawnmower. Thanks, Joe Biden, for that, you loser. But besides that, I'm gonna show you what I got done and kind of my plans over here. I got all that mowed real nice, and I got a good majority of the trees trimmed, as you see from that nice little brush pile over there. I'm gonna let that dry for a couple days and then I will light it on fire. But I still got this to mow. I've been going through here picking all the rocks out of it, and I trimmed a good portion of my trees over here. And this is where my container is going to be. It's gonna go from that tree right there and to that nasty tree right there. It's gonna go about in here. I want it kind of in the woods, so it's gonna be kind of feel a little bit like a tree house over here, because I'm gonna actually put it pretty high up on some blocks, because there is a very steep hill right here, and I'm not going to spend the time leveling it all out like I did my container over there. I'm just going to put it on some blocks, and I'm gonna build a really nice deck off of it facing the woods. But eventually I am going to cut this nasty tree down right here. This thing is awful. Just look at this. Looks like a good portion of it is dead. Probably full of termites and stuff. But look at this. There's like just tons of nasty vines all over it. Look at all those things. Those thorns are massive. Like, geez. Almost like, I don't know, that's just awful. And then this tree itself is growing humongous thorns. Like, look at that. They're just like all over it, these nasty thorns. And these trees are really hard to cut down. They're some of the hardest wood you can possibly cut. It's harder than oak. It's really harder than anything. And they get these awful, awful thorns on them. These things are so sharp, they can go right through a tractor tire. It's crazy. The little turtle is just still sitting in her frame. I'm surprised she did not get out. But we are gonna call it a day, so we're gonna let her go. She's a pretty little turtle. Look at all those colors on her shell. Really pretty. I'm gonna put her back where she was. All right, little turtle. Be free. There she goes. All right, she's probably gonna sit there for like 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna let her do her thing. Okay guys, that is going to be it for this video. As always, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We always got something crazy going on this channel, and you do not want to miss it.